All right, all right. Thank the good Lord for so much. Coming back once again, giving a great shout out to the YouTube family, Facebook family. Hope everybody's still doing well and you have had a beautiful and blessed day. I'm going to come a little hard in this video because I want to talk about something I think most of us had a problem with or still got a problem with: attitudes. Attitudes. And see, I believe if we would just learn to tell the truth, just tell the truth about ourselves, we could reach more people. And these stank attitudes in the house of God, most people don't even want to change their attitude. Deacons with bad attitudes, musicians with bad attitudes, praise team leaders, choir members, ushers. Every church got a mean usher in it. People in the congregation, attitudes. This is what's tearing up the church also, attitudes. And Jason, let me give you a shout out. You asked me what was one of my hardest challenges that I had to deal with in the church. I'm gonna just be straight up and real with it. Dealing with all women's choir. Most women can't get along with women. They really can't. And you will be shocked in the house of God how many women talk behind each other back, can't stand each other, but want to sing songs like "Oh How I Love Jesus" and "I Will Trust in the Lord" and all these songs, but don't even love their own sister. And when you're dealing with a women's choir, definitely you got some stanky attitudes. You dealing with menopause, Mother Nature. That's why I say jealousy, envy, women who smiling in each other's face and talking behind each other back. But the question is, what are we doing to work on our attitudes? Let me talk about self. See, I got to get on camera and tell the truth. One of the hardest things for JT, hardest things, and I still deal with it, was had to change my attitude. I think a lot of y'all can say the same. That's why I said all this being hypocrites and stuff, people need to just tell the truth. Your attitude is what describes you. Let me go back to an old Barcade song to some of my old school people on here. If you're familiar with the Barcades, they did a song called Attitudes, and it says your attitude, that's what describes you, what you want to be. It just may not be what the people see, but your attitude shows the real you. It's in your eyes. The Barcades, I love that song. Y'all know the rest of it. And when you think about attitude right now, how many of us are still dealing with it? So much meaning in that song. See, I can preach off of a song, and I know some of y'all too religious to listen to that music because, oh, it's too secular. Let me tell you something, it's a lot of meaning in a lot of these old school songs. And it makes me think about Apostle Paul. When Paul was locked up in prison, he wrote about the attitude that a Christian should have. Do we study it? We might study it, but do we actually try to live it? No. Because if we did, the church would be better. We would love each other more. The world would be in a better place. But we got most stanky attitudes coming from people who call themselves Christians. That's why I say when Paul was locked up, he wrote about the attitudes a Christian should have. And when you study pretty much of what Paul wrote, it was addressing the church. Paul was writing and trying to get them to understand, as we could understand from reading it also, that whatever happens in your life, the way you should conduct yourself, you should conduct yourself Christ-like. That's why I say many claim to be Christians, but they're not Christ-like. See, I'm guilty from what I used to, when I talk about attitude, that's why I say, let me get back, let me talk about myself. JT used to be bad people with this cussing folks out. Oh yeah. I done came a long way. I ain't all the way where I want to be, but thank God I ain't where I used to be. Because when I just finally surrendered and gave my life to God, I couldn't walk the same way. couldn't talk the same way. And certain things, certain people, I had to live alone. I mean, I had to leave alone. I didn't have no problem cussing out a preacher. I done cussed out many prophets, deacons, Sunday school teacher. I didn't care. Missionary folks, because I got so sick of folks in the house of God with their stupid attitudes, claiming that they love God, but they come at you a whole nother angle, don't they? That's why I say I'm guilty from what I used to do. I'm not gonna get on here and lie to y'all people. That's why I don't walk around and act like no saint. I didn't have no problem cussing out whoever came in my face. And the hardest thing to do is to deal with Christians. Because Christians are going to try you all the time. Notice I said Christians. I mean, no, let's just be real. People in the world, they gonna get at you too. But think about it: when somebody getting ready to go to church this week and sit beside somebody they can't stand, singing beside somebody they can't stand, and they always putting their little fake smile on. This is why you got all these cliques in the church. But once you change your attitude, you become a better person. You become a better person. This is why at times you will get frustrated. This is why, let's get real, hit with the children now. This is why everybody blaming stuff on these kids, but this is why most children are jacked up, because they marking what they see their parents do. They marking what they see. And you wonder why they at school cussing the teacher out. Their attitude is bad. Because some of them some of these mamas, all they do is cuss their children out and tell them they ain't gonna be nothing, they're gonna be just like their daddy. I see it every day. And what way is that to talk to a child? I love how Jesus maintained his attitude. Even though he went off on them Pharisees, and remember Jesus had feelings. And he was in the flesh. And he had times where he just told them like it was. Remember the time he turned the tables over in the temple? We know the story. Paul speaks more about this Christ-like attitude in his letter to the church in Ephesus. He told them that you were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self. As you would hear P.P. Drawing say all the time, you got to die daily. You got to deny yourself. You got to die to yourself. You put off old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires. That's why flesh can't please God. To be made new in the attitude of your minds. And to put on the new self. But where is the new self at nowadays? Everybody talking about, oh, I'm made new in Christ. I'm a new creature, but you still look like your old self. There is no change in you. You claim to be saved, but you don't even look delivered. Let me leave that alone. There's not too many people right now want to change their attitude. It's too many people want to be God. God don't want us to try to become a God. He wants us to become like him, taking on his values, his attitude, his character. We are meant to be made new in the attitude. How you renewing your mind? Are you putting on new self? Or are you waking up still old self? These attitudes can get so bad. That's why now I can write off a lot of stuff. It take a lot to get to me now, because that was one of my prayers. Change my attitude. And it didn't happen overnight. And you better not piss me off right now. Ain't no telling what I might do. And if I cuss somebody out, oh, JT ain't no child of God. That's your belief. See, we must learn to keep it real. See, some of y'all slip up and cuss every day. Notice I said slip up, or you might be doing it on purpose. Y'all will catch that later on. See, we don't want to tell the truth. All this holy, oh, brother, I don't do nothing. I'm holy, brother. I don't walk like this. I don't do this. Man, if you that perfect, you don't need Christ. That's why when you see me on camera, I'm the same off camera. Ain't that right, K-Ray? I speak my mind. I don't answer to you, but I love everybody. I'm just making the point. I don't answer to folks. This is why, let me end this video. When you get past thinking about what folks think about you, then that's when you start moving forward. Most people right now are spending their life trying to please folks and ain't trying to please God. It's your attitude. Back to the barcades. It's your attitude. That's what describes you, what you want to be. It may just, it just may not be what the people see though, but your attitude shows the real you. It's in your eyes. The eyes can say a lot of things. See, you can cuss some folks out with your eyes and your mind, can't you? Let me leave y'all alone on that. Work on your attitude. It's an everyday process because people will piss you off. And most of them piss you off gonna be your own family and church folks. Peace.